Hey everybody, Pete Hendricks Classics. So today I'm going to show you how I like to keep razors looking good, especially if they're made from copper or brass or bronze, which the one in the picture is. And then also this is kind of teaching as well as showing how to do a product. So I am a huge fan of this blue magic. Even if you're in the industry with razors or knives and you haven't tried blue magic, it really is the best one. And then the other product is Renaissance wax or Ren wax. And so we're going to start giving away, everybody at HCC gets something free. We're going to start giving away some small kits of this and selling slightly larger kits. Now, you can get these products anywhere and no problem with that. If you're like Douglas and you keep everything polished, you probably ought to go ahead and buy the larger containers. But for most people, there's no need to spend the extra money. Okay, so what we have here, this is my personal Ren wax, so my fingers can go in that. This is not my personal blue magic, so what I did was just put a little bit in this bowl. If you look at this, I have owned this bronze. In case you don't know, you may think copper tarnishes. You haven't seen nothing yet until you see bronze. And I bought this timeless bronze over a year ago, and I put it through it was brand new, so the Blue Magic is a cleaner polisher. I didn't need to use the Blue Magic on it because it came, clean and polished, but I did put the Ren wax on it, and it still looks pretty good, and that's a year later. And so if you like what you see in this video, the Ren wax lasts a long time, where if you shave a lot with a razor, here along the edge, you have to touch it up about once a month. So let's get busy here. This is just we do need this is a rag, which I don't have that many of anymore. And then this is a polisher, which many of you probably have. So we're just gonna get a little Blue Magic on the cloth, and Blue Magic turns black as it's doing its job. That's how you know you're getting it done. Okay, so you can see where I just polished it, and you can see how it looks now. And for bronze to stay looking this good for a year is a big deal. And just so you can see how it turns black as it gets used. And you see other people talk about like Flits or Mothers, or there's a couple of other ones. I am here to tell you, Blue Magic somehow figured out to get down in the crevices. If you did want to get down in the crevices, a couple of good things. An old toothbrush may help out there. So we've got old toothbrush, got Q-tips, and if a Q-tip won't fit in an area, you can take some of the cotton off. And another thing this is a dental brush. These are called Pixters, but they sell these kinds of things in every drugstore. Okay, so let's come back on this and give it a good wiping with the polisher. And for those of you who don't have a polisher or aren't familiar with it, it's a high quality microfiber towel. We sell these, and here's what I would say. You can get polishers, you can get microfiber towels at a lot of places for basically nothing. And the question that you won't know is whether you have a good one. And these are, even the good ones aren't that expensive. I mean, we give them away. Okay, just to keep the video short, I'm not going to sweat there. And you can see this looks a little bit better because when the cap is on it, it doesn't, the light and air, I guess it's light that makes it tarnish, because this, looks close to new. To get in between the combs, let me make sure you can see them. If you want to get in between the combs, you could probably take this cloth. This is a pretty thin cloth. You could probably get it in between the combs, but I'm personally not. This is also a good practice for stainless steel razors. And before I say that as a definitive statement, I want to talk to one of the razor manufacturers. And actually, I'm speaking a little bit out of order. I think that the Ren wax, the Renaissance wax, is good for steel and worth putting on. It's very protective. So we'll take our polisher. Yeah, I mean, look, that's looking sharp. It's not quite as much on the bottom of the plate, but that metal is not as fine of a finish. Actually, this end, I think I was a little sparing on the elbow grease. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Yeah, that looks good. So normally when I do this, I would get some of the Blue Magic down in the hole there, and I would get that out just with a Q-tip. You know, a Q-tip would go right through there and get it. So, okay. Now, we've got it looking good, so now it's time to keep it looking good. And for that, we go to the Ren wax. And whether you get the paid version, which will be in these, or the free version in this, you won't get very much. I've had this for probably 5 or 6 years, and I used to make straight razors and knives, and also have restored a lot of razors, and I've had it all that time, and still have all this. The way you do is you rub some on your finger, a little on your finger. I actually put too much. A very thin coat is all it needs. Very thin. So to get enough to do the end cap, there's a little bit stuck to the wall here. I'm just going to run my finger over it. And that was actually too much. So, it really doesn't take much. And we'll go ahead. So my finger has a little on it now. Okay. And you know, when you wax your card, you wax it and let it dry. That's not what you do with this. Where did I put the... Oh, here it is. With this, you polish it while it's still soft. And so we're going to take our cloth. Ooh, Nelly, look at that. So one of the reasons that the polisher is great, you know, one or other of these chemicals may actually damage the polisher. The microfiber is very sensitive to certain things, and so, you know, I think we sell these for $2 a pop, and a lot of times they're the free gift that goes with every order. So the undercap is not going to shine like the top because they didn't polish the metal as much, which is fine with me, you know, because that doesn't show. Okay, so on this, I'm just gonna, okay, so my finger's dry now. I'm gonna put it in here and just barely rub it on there. It doesn't take much. And an interesting factoid about Ren wax is that it's designed for, it's a museum wax. And so if you go to their website, to the Renaissance Wax website, you'll see that their customers are famous museums, and you can use, like, if they wanted to wax the Declaration of Independence, because it has protective, it helps protect paper, this is what they would use. Now, here's what the Ren wax looks like. If you get it from us, it may look like it's dried up and cracked. Don't worry, it's good to go. We actually would have had this as a product some time ago, but I put it in plastic containers, like the sample containers we use for our shave soap, and it melted them. What's not to love? We got it shining.